recently, about a week ago or two, Warren, who, as you may know, is my dad as well, he recently took a trip to Bali. So he went to a exclusive health resort because a lot of people go, a lot of high net worth people tend to go to those types of things where they visit certain health retreats, and he went there more to take a rest and just enjoy himself. But in that process, he actually connected with quite a few people, especially successful investors in that resort. So one person he was talking about in particular that he was talking to was someone who was a successful investor. And speaking of the money flow, the guy was actually telling him about how how he felt Vietnam was about to become a booming success and is a highly undervalued market. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what you think of Vietnam as a potential investment market.
Yeah, 100%. I actually think Vietnam's probably getting a bit expensive for certain things. It was a very, very big booming market 10 years ago. And then it's waned, but it's cycle, and each cycle will come back. Every market has cycle. My big ones for Asia right now, my big three are Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia. If you put them in order, it would be Thailand, Indonesia, then Vietnam. On the back of those, it's the Philippines, Malaysia, where for my aviation business for this one, we're opening an office in Malaysia and in Singapore early next year to take advantage of opportunities that are going to open up there. I'd love to open up flight training in Thailand, but pretty much most of it's done by the military. But watch this space. The other place that we're looking at is the Middle East. Bahrain, Qatar, because they've got a history of aviation and so forth. So your father was spot on the money. That's where you connect. That's why I used to spend so much time networking at these places and going to these events and stuff around, is because that's where you meet everyone. You know, high net worth people tend to do similar things, and they tend to do them at resorts because they only got like a week or 2 weeks a year. They don't have the 4 weeks and 6 weeks holiday and all the weekends that most people do, because they work 7 days a week, 100-hour weeks all the time, right? Jack Ma from Alibaba says if you want to be in his league, you've got to work 99 hours a week. So 99 hours a week, six days, 99 hours a week for 11 months of the year. Right? It's a 699.11. So the reason that he doesn't have 12 is because Chinese New Year eats up a lot of the last month. But pretty much for 11 months of the year, you are working 6 days a week, 99 hours a day, all the time to build your businesses and to do whatever. That's why China, Asia, and all these places have it over us, right? Because we want the good life. We only want to work 3 days a week and get paid for 7. Well, that means that you're going to go backwards. And this is the problem, is the richer we get, the lazier we get in the West, right? The bigger the decline of our economies and our countries will be. What built the Western world during the Industrial Revolution was exactly 99 hours a week, 6 days a week for 12 months of the year. That's what the Industrial Revolution was. You were literally a slave if you worked in some of these big factories. Yes, is that harsh? Yes, it is. Right? So yes, it did need to come to a bit middle, but we've gone too far past the middle now. You got France talking about a 28-hour work week. 28 hours. I couldn't check my email in that amount of time. I need the other 70 hours in the week to actually get something done. Right? That is why we are going to lose to all these other countries. And that is why the smart money is flowing into these countries at a rate that has never been seen before on this planet. Now, is that going to stop me buying businesses in the West? No. Because is the West going to disappear overnight? No, it just won't be relevant. And the reason I know that it's still a good idea to buy companies in the West, and I'm looking in the East, and I'm looking in the new empire, because I want to take ideas from companies that we've got here now that are successful and take them to the emerging economies and make a fuckload of money, right? Technical term. And the reason I know that that works is the UK. When Britain lost its mantle at the end of World War II, it was still a place everyone wanted to invest in. It just wasn't the leading empire anymore. So the focus moved to the US as the leading empire, but the UK was still a very powerful economy to grow a business and do stuff in. It slowly waned. Now it's got the opportunity to grow back again, but with Rishi Sunak, it won't. It'll go down the shitter. Now, during that time, between the late 40s and now, right, people made a lot of money rolling up businesses, putting them on stock markets, you know, growing companies and that. And that is the time that we're in now with the baby boomer transition happening. Time to roll up these good businesses, take the ideas and take them over into the new economy. You do that, you'll make a shitload. And then with that money, you can then be set for life and have a foundation or whatever it is, create whatever world that you want off the back of that. I like Elon. Was it Elon Musk that said, have a look at all the people that are now telling you how to live. Before they could do that, they made a shitload of money. Branson, Gates, Buffett, right? They spent a whole heap of their time making their money. Now, when they've got their money, now they're telling you how to live. Now, if we want to counteract that, make a shitload of money so you can tell people how to live, because, you know, you can't do it if you're poor.
Yeah.
Amazing. But you can't do it if you're poor.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you see a lot of like gurus out there, especially in the business space, who try to tell people what to do and how they should be marketing and doing all that kind of stuff when they struggle to get clients themselves. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in the world. And yeah, just that's just the reality. Having wealth gives you influence. So that's good motivation in itself. That's the way I view it.
Yeah, and the problem is, once again, it goes back to education. Education has deemed wealth to be a dirty word, right? If you actually read the scriptures and you read history, the wealthy people did a lot more charity because government wasn't there to do the charity. Right? You know, have a look at all the libraries in the US and all the institutions and medical centers and stuff in Europe that were from very old world families. Before they all got corrupted, they used to just turn around and spend a lot of money building hospitals, a lot of money building universities, you know, because back then education was seen as a pathway to the greats, but they didn't have basket weaving courses, they didn't have arts courses, they had mathematics, they had science, right? One of the other stats that I saw on that was 80% of universities now are courses that aren't related to STEM. So science, was it science, STEM, I forget what the T is, but engineering, aeronautics, mechanical, all that sort of stuff. 80% of all courses offered have nothing to do with what's really needed. So that's a pretty bad state of affairs.
Yeah, and while we're on the investment topic, we have a question here from Lena. Obviously no advice, but in your opinion, is gold worth buying at this stage?
I'd take silver over gold, and I wouldn't put everything on it. But yes, have some of it as part of your portfolio because it creates an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Now, there's a really good webinar that was done by, was it Virgil or what's the other guy?
Gregor? I think, yeah, it would have been Virgil.
Gregor did a video, I think it was for us at one of the live events where he talked about the gold silver ratio. That's a video. If you want to understand how to work gold silver, that's a video that you should watch. That video, I was watching that video, and I learned so much from that. It's about a 10-minute section where it talks about the gold silver ratio, and it just made so much sense with what's going on.
Yeah, and if you guys are looking for help around that, just email us and we can direct you to it and go from there. So just reach out to us at support@globalwealthclub.com and we can let you know where it is and whatnot. But is that vid still available? Yeah, it should be up as a replay for the live event that we ran it on. So yes, it should be. But yeah, reach out to our support team and they'll be able to help you.